try to make this, and we've been had a smartphone interface all day, no internet business it, and then when we have internet, then they try to sabotage. Just like after 3 in the morning, and people like trying to hang outside the door here of our door. And when I'm trying to be quiet, which I'm basically not harassed, so thing, and the creeps took advantage of the fact to try to come to this, like, to harass me about my beloved sweet and and they harass us all the time sexually, and it's really criminal. They harassed me through the door. This is it. Just want to let you know that too. But quickly, we're going to talk about Harley, aka Erica. We saw her when we were little kids with Prosperous Charles and his woman. What's her name? Nicole Richie. Okay, they were involved in a kidnapping abduction. And Nicole Richie and Prosperous Charles. Sophie's old. Okay, she's older than Nicole, and she pretended to be a 15-year-old model. She was 30. Okay, and that's when me and my beloved came out sometimes. We were the little kids, and I started doing a kidnap abduction. Her and Nicole tried to kill me from Prosperous Charles. Okay, so we had a problem when we saw Harley. I tried to pass her off as King Archbishop's child, and they tortured him, they taunted him, and they said they couldn't find her, and he wanted to try to find her. Everybody knew something wrong, and Mr. said, and so she was dwarfed. So that's why we're telling you that she was around. She was a little kid when Shabby and I were little kids. She was a little kid when my beloved came out Shabby and I were little kids. And so we tried to help him find Harley. Mr. said, and he just called, and then they found Harley. Mr. said, and they wanted to keep an eye on Harley. They knew it was Pastor Charles and Nicole. Okay, Mr. said, just like with the reeds, to get a certain look. Mr. said we just learned that too, and everybody knew that it was their baby. They really did something wrong to him. That's it. And that was. Then it came back as he knew that something wrong, and everybody found anybody keep it. And so we're gonna tell you now. She was a Batman, and she Batman. She was trying to shoot him. He was at a party. Our beloved brother, cousin, Prince William of Denmark. He got the worst injury. Harley was actually Harlequin in Batman. And a Harlequin is a wicked thing. Everybody knew she wasn't King of Egypt's wife. But they said she was old. And she worked for the American government trying to kill us, basically said. A bank robber, a murderer, and a thief. And she was the only one, and Brandon was Francis was shy. And although I have the ability to read her mind afterwards, that's exactly what they most did her, killed her. And when they came to see about her, it was told that the nurses and everything said she disappeared. She slept a lot. So they did. And when she went into telling everybody I had killed King of Egypt, I had killed all the people. And when I saw her, I just thought that she was King of Egypt. And so when it was time for me to go home to Israel, I wanted to go home to Israel. I didn't remember anything. They wanted me to go. Everybody tried to tell me who I was. And I didn't remember. But when I went to go, you have to go fill out papers. And I thought I was immigrating. Just go. You don't immigrate. You're not to put this way, just go. And when I went, people were so jealous, I didn't remember saying frightened. He said that my husband for me, my beloved came out of to beat, and I said the people are still trying to kill. If I don't go back and try to help Francis and whoever I thought was our real family, that they'd be murdered. Because we were going to a funeral every month. People around us were being murdered. Well, you can imagine it was and the American government. As Smith said, she was dwarfed. Imagine that my twin brother had been dwarfed. Well, he was dwarfed by mistake. And basically said, but they did her on purpose. And we told you our family song. We are family. All of our family are together. You see, Joni had a baby and was King of Egypt's wife, one of his wives. They killed Joni and her baby. She had a son. And they told you that another one was Joni, but she was the one to me. Because I said, so you kind of figure out which one it was, the real Joni. She died a long time ago. And the room where we're in, they told King of Egypt that Joni had died in a car accident. We suspected that it was Erica and Ellie and the bad American government. She's not Egyptian, and basically, and she was trying to steal. Harlequin's a criminal. It's also a wicked thing. We just okay. So now, and we talked about how we ascended. So we told that certain people can do that. It's quite beautiful, and the shamans are for God's people. We told Erica also said something about Erica, aka Harley, also said something bad about God, our God, and she worshipped another thing, God. And so we said that too. And Apostle Charles took several daughters and mothers together, wiped both. He's not anything but a bad thing, but that's not ours. And we tried to catch it, and I forgot. I forgot all about it because the kidnappers kidnapped me and tried to murder me, to kidnap my beloved son, King of and tried to murder him. They hurt King Arthur of Egypt. That's not his daughter. So we just let that too. That's not his. And so he said they killed his sisters. He said he had two sisters that were Egyptian. King Farouk's two older daughters, old enough to be our mothers. They killed them. So we just let that too. Two princesses. So we want to let you know with the American government, they're cheap and disgusting. The bad people to hurt us all. We want our good people to come out of there. Whoever's left, they can't come out. They're cheap and disgusting. The bad Americans, they kill for money. They're really cheap and disgusting, the bad Americans. They did that to us. They're outside harassed now. They have the dirtiest mouths. We know they're bad Americans. So, we're Jews, and we live for eternity, and we're good. We're going to be for eternity. And so we want to let you know that too, again. And so we had a hard time writing, but we wanted to speak to you. And so we're going to try this, speaking to you. And they're trying to overrun the video so you can't see what we write and what we speak about. But everybody knew that she wasn't King Arthur of Egypt's daughter. And so we wanted to chat too, again. And I just remember I hadn't put her and Brenda's name on that paper. It'd probably been harder to catch them. But I just didn't remember. Everybody knows that they said she doesn't remember. No, I didn't remember. But we're trying to catch them. And when I went to the Federation, I said, these are my brother's children. But they weren't. And King of Egypt was my brother, not by birth. He was our cousin. And then his father was still around, adopted me, made me his daughter. Because his mother and father had to go to safety. He died after they told you. And his mother brought him to me and my beloved King Shavit and our beloved Rothschild family. And he was still quite young. He tried to be quite brave. His parents, we wanted his parents to stay, but they were running for safety, and they wanted our family to keep him safe. They died when they left. Everybody wished they had stayed. And they gave us popsicles to eat. Shabi and I were quite small, so we remember the popsicles. And they gave King Arthur of Egypt one, too. So he was still a little kid. He had on his kufi. It's a kufi if it's kind of like bigger than a kippah, but it's still the same thing, a kippah or a kufi. And he was dressed in a little suit, and his suit, and his parents had to leave him. And everybody wished that his parents had stayed. And they died when they left. King Farouk of Egypt and his wife, King of Egypt's mother. And so we just let that too, our aunt and uncle. And they adopted me, their daughter. And that's how he became my brother. And my husband's brother-in-law. Okay, so now we'll talk to you since we can. I didn't like King Arthur of Egypt's dad, our uncle, our blood uncle, and my adopted father, because they knew he was part Jewish. Okay, so we just want to let you know again too, and we'll talk to you since we can. But Erica wasn't his child, and so and everybody knew that it found that and knew that it was Harley, the criminal in Batman, Harley Quinn. One of the people that came after us, Erica was also with that, Imposter Charles and Fake Mo, who called himself Quentin, who killed the king of Morocco, who was our blood uncle and my adopted father. He was my beloved king of Chapter Beats and my blood uncle, and he adopted me, his daughter. He had only one daughter, and she was going to be the first Arab queen of Belgium. But during the abduction, Imposter Charles, Fake Mo, and Ishi, the king of, and killed his son, also our cousin and uncle, dad, and killed him during the kidnapping of me and my beloved husband. I'm in their palace, and they killed his wife. It happened to have their public wedding, but they had their already married private, and they're going to have their public palace by the kidnappers, Lishmo and Pastor Charles. So we want to let you know that too. So they're quite criminals that tried to hurt us on trying to steal money for the American government Nazi, because they tried to kill all of our beloved royal family, and they tried to kill me and my beloved Kinsman Street and all the beloved royal family, and tried to take all our beloved Kinsman Citizens people, and tried to take our money for their Fort Knox. We told you about all of that. We called our police, real police. So we just wanted that too, and we'll talk to you since we can. But everybody suspected they had done something at our palace too. They shot at all of us. They were able to get out of the door. She could come back for her purse, and the man that's at the front desk, he also came. We were waiting for. We had got a death threat, and they said and Dad said, my beloved can speak to maybe if we just leave. And Dad said no, because they could try to kill us in the open, and we have to catch them. So we're at our palace. In November in Israel, we told you about that. And Erica and Ellie came, and they had done something to us too. They said, and the man downstairs, he's actually the American government. The man downstairs, and he came in the resurrection. When we had made the palace for God, the temple for God, and the resurrection happened. And he came running in his down the hill, and everybody suspected it, but he suspected there's something wrong. He had a Nazi uniform, and it was you couldn't tell who his name was or anything. And when the Americans showed up, he went with the American government, and he had killed a lot of Jews. And so basically, we took it done. Oh, by Herman's younger brother, that's the ad in Switzerland. We on the train system, the train station, our beloved Rothschild family, and that's because he was on an ad. Everybody saw that. Okay, so all right, we'll talk to you as we can, and try to careful safe learn. We'll try to get ready for Pesach as best as you can. And if you don't have matzah, I think you go and not eating leaven. Don't eat any bread. And then maybe next to Pesach or Pesach Sheni, you'll have matzah. Make sure it's kosher for Pastor. Okay, now try to be careful safe learn. We'll talk to you as soon as we can. My husband loves me very much. Shelby's my beloved for all eternity, and I'm Shelby's beloved wife for eternity. And we wanted to explain to you. We told you how, to me, it was really quite beautiful how he explained that, and how I saw, and how he showed me, and how including our beloved God is gone. So because we don't commit to us, and that's why I said Masada style. He would hold me in his arms, and well, understand. And so we love you very much. And so we leave us alone. So we can help our beloved family and our beloved world people, kinspeople and citizen people and the beautiful animals. And we love each other very much, Shelby and I. And we're together for all eternity. And that's awesome and wonderful. It's by God heaven above. Okay, so talk to us as we can. Try to carefully learn it. And hugs me out when it comes. A couple more days to prepare for Pesach. And I'll be on Shabbat.